What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, we are lit that titty, man. Turn. Motherfucking day. Straight hood outside. Big crib in it. Gang straight hood outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo. Russia do your thing. And Texas stand the fuck up. Each day is ready to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also never put yourself in a position alone. Let's stay humble. Let's get on revolution. Keep Yahweh first. Coming to the Black Hebrew Israelite. As a real Jew, we out here. Alright. Boom. See? Motherfucking day. Straight hood outside. Big crib in it. Gang straight hood outside shit, man. Gang. Ooh. Gang. Hey, bro. We got some shit to talk about, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of music artists that's out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's beating the mainstream. But it's also a lot of underground rap artists, you know what I'm saying? But we've been talking about Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, and A$AP Rocky. They've been having beef for years. You know what I'm saying? And we've been break this shit down, man. Playboi and A$AP Rocky. Playboi used to be A$AP Rocky protege, but now Playboi Carti bigger than A$AP. A$AP trying to take Playboi Carti shit, but now Travis Scott, you know what I'm saying, is lit, and A$AP Rocky and Playboi Carti, I don't think they never really like Travis Scott. Now A$AP Rocky might try to relink with Travis Scott, but now it's a lot of drama behind this shit, man. SA taking people's shit, you know what I'm saying, and copyright infringement. This shit is getting crazy, man. So we got the video, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Shout out to Dominic Kowalski. Playboi Carti disses A$AP Rocky on music. I guess A$AP Rocky, Playboi Carti, and Travis Scott all got beef. You know what I'm saying? You know, when some of the biggest rap artists in the world at the top, they have nothing else to do but beef with everybody who's in their lane anyway.
Last night, once close associate of A$AP and Carti's former manager, Ian Connor would go on a huge Twitter rant where he would expose the issues between Playboi Carti and A$AP Rocky, which gives us more context to why the two not only beefed back in 2023, but also why the two have not been seen with each other since like 2017. So firstly, Ian would quote tweet this Flex Go post where he shared this A$AP Rocky snippet, produced by Space Ghost Perp and A$AP Ills, where Ian would say, "I don't know if y'all are aware, but Rocky ain't doing none but
is A$AP Rocky from Texas?
And Carti even doing anything with Perp was an indirect diss to Rocky in the first place. I'ma tell y'all the truth, nobody likes each other over on this side. When I say Flocko ain't who y'all think he is, that fella is gay. So a lot of you may have no idea what this tweet actually means, so let me break it down. Firstly, the whole Rocky
Let's get fiscal.
Sucking Carti, which is probably Ian suggesting that since Carti is now this huge rapper that has this spotlight on him, Rocky is trying to get back in and around him. As just a couple weeks prior to this, we would actually see Rocky with Carti and his Opium artists, with Rocky even going on IG Live singing along with their collab song Off the Meter. But Ian may also be alluding to the fact that now Rocky is getting Space Ghost Perp production after Carti used Perp production on his album Music, suggesting that Rocky is copying Carti. As for those who don't know, track 13 on Iron Music, titled Crank, the beat samples F Taylor Gang by Space Ghost Perp from the 2011 mixtape Blackland Radio 66.6. Now, Ian would also say that Carti doing anything with Perp was an indirect diss to Rocky, and you might be asking why. Well, back around 2011 and 2012, Rocky and Perp would have this huge falling out
they be having the
after
same
he
type of
accused
sound.
Rocky of copying his entire swag and aesthetic, and I think even like stole song lyrics from Perp. It was a big thing, but it's so old, I'm not too informed about it, and I also don't care because it was like 15 years ago now. There's probably some YouTube video if you type in like Space Ghost Perp versus the ASAP Bomb.
Oh, so you trying to say he stole from his swagger?
Now, speaking of that, so for now, Rocky's protege, Carti, to sample one of his enemy's songs on his biggest album can be seen as an indirect diss, which is what Ian is talking about here. Oh, and at the end of the tweet, Ian would say Rocky is allegedly gay, which Perp would supposedly expose Rocky for in a tweet sometime
a lot of
ago.
niggas
Now,
at that
I'm not
top
sure
be
how
on some
true
weird
this
shit, let's
is,
be honest.
as he has put like 3 kids in Rihanna, but you know, it could be a Diddy thing where, you know, he's into some freaky side stuff. A fan would then ask, why would they beef if they squash the beef? To which Ian would respond with, ain't no beef squashed, he didn't want Perp to resurge when he the one who even brought him in the game, and someone else get the fruits of benefit for piping him back up. Fella don't even respect nor like Perp, but bro sure enough is making his way back around. Now, so here the fan was alluding to Rocky and Perp supposedly squashing their beef, as around a month ago in May, he would put out a tweet saying that they have resolved their problems. But here,
it sounds
Ian
good
is
today,
saying,
you know what I'm saying?
well, no, not actually. Sure, they may be cordial,
this.
but Rocky does not want to see Perp brought back and given attention. And now with Carti basically putting everyone back onto Perp, sampling him on the biggest album of the year, Rocky doesn't like that. And a lot of people in the comments may be saying, or just thinking like, oh nah, this Ian Connor dude is just angry, he's fallen off, everyone's left him, he's broke, whatever. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like Carti and Ian are actually cool behind the scenes, as there was a tweet from back in November saying he's tried to get in contact with Perp, presumably to get that sample cleared for Crank. It was like something life-changing. And Ian would also show his recent DMs of Rocky on Instagram, where he is the one ignoring his calls. And actually, I don't know if any of you guys remember, but Rocky would even allegedly diss Ian at Rolling Loud, and Ian would confront Rocky about it in DMs, where Ian would basically bait him. I'll show you guys on screen. F this about nothing. You probably don't believe me, lol. Word to though, can't blame me if you don't. I like to hear unbelievable cause what's going? Where we set this tone? So yeah, Ian press Rocky, and it seems like Rocky is scared of Ian. And yeah, everyone in the replies was just clowning Rocky. Holy Ian gotta have something crazy on Rocky. This fella Rocky really got beat by this little dwarf that looked like a pug with Down syndrome. MFS said bro was scared he'd be number 34. So it actually seems like Rocky is the one trying to link up with Ian and Carti again. It makes sense why Carti would be closer to Ian and remain friends with him, because they were actually like friends back in the day. Not like Carti and Rocky where it was more sort of just music business stuff.
Yeah,
and Ian would actually address this in a tweet. Ian signed Carti through Rocky, basically trying to tell us, yeah, Rocky legally signed Carti to the Orge label, but Ian is the one that actually discovered him, managed him, probably dressed him, and put him on for everyone to discover him. Actually, I think Ian even
niggas be so fucking bored, they got so much money on, they got lit.
For like Yeezy season 3, 4,
they like, man,
5,
fuck it, I might as well just beef with these niggas.
Even performed at one of Carti's shows, or Carti performed at a yay good music show. I'll play it on screen. So in summary, Rocky and Perp had beef because Rocky stole Perp's entire style back in the day. And now Rocky is mad because Carti is giving Perp clout in Big 2025 by sampling him on his album. And not only that, but it was an indirect diss at Rocky since him and Perp had
Playboi
beef
Carti trying to bring
beforehand.
Perp
And
back.
actually, a fan would say, him and Rocky were literally in the studio in March, referencing Carti, Opium, and Rocky.
That's
all
fucked
linking up
up.
together a couple weeks
He didn't go at
to
Kanye,
which
though.
respond with, fake love out of fear exists. So basically,
He
here
said,
Ian
fuck
is
it.
saying
It's either
Rocky's
Kanye
only
or
back with
A$AP
Carti
Rocky,
because
goofy ass.
he's the hottest rapper right now. And with Rocky really struggling for clout and attention, music-wise, this is why he's trying to get back close with them. And I'm not trying to say like Rocky isn't famous or anything, he clearly is. He just had this huge trial and is of course the father to Rihanna's children. But musically, not many people seem to care about him, which may be why he's trying to get back cool
I
with
mean,
Carti.
he's not in the hood, he's not in the streets like that.
Carti and Rocky
He more for like the white
if you
people,
Google
you know what I'm
and search
saying?
up their names, it's all
He's
stuff
not in
from
the
like
streets, he's like more for
2017
the
and
suburban
2018.
white
It's like
people.
these dudes haven't linked up for 7 years. It was only like a couple months ago we heard that Rocky was
You know what I'm
apparently
saying?
blocking the release of music, which not sure if that was true. Could that have been possibly because he didn't want that Space Ghost Burp sample to drop? And like going back to Rocky and him kind of needing clout, because realistically, what is Don't Be Dumb selling first week? Like his last project was Testing, released in 2018, and that sold 75k, which in my personal opinion for 2018 and for Rocky's size, I'd say that's pretty poor. And really, I don't even presume it can get worse. As in 2025, he's lost all his relevance. It's way harder to sell copies due to streaming becoming so popular. I think he'd be lucky to do like 80k, maybe 100k at a push. Like there's still hype, of course, because he hasn't dropped in so long. But how many people
can't get over 200?
People have moved on. We have Carti, Travis, and so on now. To be fair, if Rocky gets some big features, a fat track list, maybe he could push a little bit over 100, 120. But I don't know, man. To me, it feels like people are just fed up of him now. If he dropped it like right after the trial,
he sold all his clout and fame for
he's doing
Rihanna.
Ray-Bans and Puma collabs instead of dropping music. And it low-key makes sense why
Rihanna
he
bigger
wouldn't
than
drop
him.
in the first place. Like, he just doesn't need to. There's no monetary benefit. He's getting loads of money from all these brand deals anyways, and all his past music is still streaming extremely well. And second of all, if it performs badly, it would only tarnish his career, whereas if he just doesn't drop, he will just stay in the same position he is at now, which is a very good position. Whereas if it flops, you know, there's going to be negative press around his name. If it sells really badly, maybe brands won't want to do brand deals with him anymore, stuff like that. And Ian would also say, Rocky is a sheep disguised as a shepherd. That fella just handsome and knows how to dress, so we give him unnecessary credit when you think about it. It's really not due. Who the F listened to Bro past Live Long ASAP for real, past his eye for visuals thereafter, which again is just giving us more reasons for why he may be trying to leech off Carti now. Nobody really cares about him musically wise, but hey, if he secures a Carti or Ken Carson feature, a lot of the new generation may actually tap into the album now. And really, the last time we heard of Rocky and Carti was all the way back in 2022, not for good reasons, after Rocky posted a song to his Instagram called Sights, featuring Carti. Now beforehand, this song was not released, so he literally just posted the full thing to his Instagram for no reason. This led to beef between Rocky and Opium, as they were mad he was leaking their music, supposedly causing delays. Carti's right-hand man, Opium Baby, would tweet, all that leaking this shit costs. F Rocky, he played. F that ASAP shit. So this was back in the September of 2022, early Opium days, with this being Carti's literal right-hand man, Opium Baby, or formerly known as JX Creased. He used to do all the fashion stuff back in like 2017, and took drug and gun charges for Carti in 2020, with him seemingly calling Rocky out, saying that him leaking stuff is damaging their business. And I actually kind of need to correct myself, as this is some important context. Apparently Sights is actually Carti's song featuring Rocky, which may explain even more why Jay was so mad. Because Jay would actually say, that's Ush, and would also say, this could have been on all streaming platforms. And of course, engineer Fritz Owen would say, my brother just saying this, he ain't a go. Obviously referencing to Carti and him, saying he didn't allow the song to drop. Now, honestly, that whole situation is weird, as not only was the song old, meaning it was never going to officially drop, but also Jay and Fritz at first co-signed the song, dropping, as they even like tweeted lyrics from it, then a day later randomly started dissing Rocky for quote-unquote leaking the song. Maybe Carti didn't like the fact Rocky was dropping songs with him for clout, so he told Redeem Google Play to call him out, especially as this was back in 2022, where Carti was like deep into the whole mysterious image. No music, no posts, no features, nothing. So for Rocky to post a song with him, it can be seen as a little bit clout chasing. Because I don't know, but to me, he could have dropped any other song he had, but no, he decided to drop the one with Carti. And even this was back in 2022, before Carti was the superstar he was, you know, in 2025. So he was still an extremely big rapper, and still out of the new generation, he was probably still the biggest. Like, who else? Uzi? Travis? Like, Carti was still the one that had all the attention on him. Like, I'm telling
And they
you,
be beefing Travis Scott.
I don't want to side with Ian Connor because Ian Connor's a terrible person. But him saying Rocky is using Carti for clout makes sense. Like, think about how many people will tap in to Don't Be Dumb if Carti is on it. That will probably be the most streamed song in the first week. Like, I'm telling you. Especially, they haven't had a song since testing. I think Carti was on testing. Well, apart from Sides. But, yeah, that was not official.
So, Rocky
overall,
created
what we can take away from this
Playboi
is
Carti. Now he's trying to break down Carti.
In the industry are actually friends or mess with each other behind the scenes. To me, it seems like Carti got signed by Rocky in 2017, used that move to boost his career, and hasn't spoken to him since. But now that Rocky's music career is struggling, he's trying to link back up with Carti and even copying Carti, as he's now trying to sample Space Ghost Code for his album Don't Be Dumb. Definitely a weird situation, but at the end of the day, they may not be cool, but Rocky is eating good. Not only does he have all the brand deals, but Carti is signed to his Orge label, meaning he gets a percentage of all his money. So yeah, he's eating. And Eno put out a couple more interesting tweets.
But it's not like
Rocky
nigga want to eat, nigga want to be
Travis
eating
Scott,
and
which,
lit.
we're at
You
the
know
end
what
of
I'm saying?
the video, so if anyone's interested, I thought I'd go over it. So a fan would say, does this mean he might be in the studio with Travis Scott now? Because this is a fan basically laughing, oh, Rocky is using Carti for clout, well, he might use Travis for clout now too. As beforehand, they had like kind of beef because Travis was like
Travis Scott from
Rocky,
Texas.
but since Rocky needs the clout now, hey, he might forget all that stuff in the past and get back with Rocky. But Ian would say, nah, they're not going to collab. Trav not hearing that because he too powered up now. Nast and Rocky called themselves bullying that man when he was still coming up, and he never forgot, as he shouldn't. And now he got the last laugh, career and money-wise. But he plays it cordial, but he looks down on them fellas. Basically saying Travis would never collab with Rocky because they used to poke fun of him back when he was up and coming. So now he was nothing to do with them. And
that's what I'm saying. These bitch ass niggas, once a nigga make it, then they want to collab with a nigga. Bitch, you wouldn't even look a nigga away.
Go to a cab, and there wasn't like enough space for Travis, so they just left him in the rain. I'm not sure if that's true. Like, I remember reading that somewhere. I think I was doing a video on like Travis and Rocky beef. I think it was in my Vixen the Travis Scott video. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened because, you know, Rocky needs the clout. He would need a Travis Scott feature. He needs Carti, Travis, I don't know who else, Ken Carson. And then Ian would basically say about Rocky, I can't stand to see somebody I look up to be so weak of a fella. Basically saying Rocky is now becoming a leech and D-rider, as he said earlier, which is why he's back with Carti, which is kind of true. As I said multiple times in this video, when was the last time we saw Rocky with Carti? Never. These dudes have never been with each other apart from like 2017. And what? Suddenly now Carti's become the biggest rapper in the world, relative to his age or whatever. And like he's a new generation rapper, he's the biggest. So what, now Rocky's back in the studio with him? We haven't seen them together for 10 years, but now Carti's selling 300k and now he's back in the studio. Okay, bro, sure. And even before that, Rocky was dropping Carti leaks on his Instagram for no reason. Why not leak a solo song? Why leak one with Carti?
I think he thought he was going to blow up his page, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to side with Ian Connor because he's a terrible
person, I don't know if he didn't want to
to me, it's clear as
music.
day. And then, to end off the video, a funny one about Rocky. Bro is equivalent to a B with a fat ass, good style, but ugly face. Saying Rocky can dress and has good style, but his music's ass. So yeah, that's Carti sneak dissing Rocky, or indirectly dissing him, and Ian Connor saying basically how Rocky has fallen and is using Carti to get clout. Let me know what you guys think. Is Rocky using Carti for clout? Has Rocky fallen off? Or is Rocky just, wanna be buddy with Carti for no reason? No, I think it's clear. Again, I've said this loads of times. There's a reason he's back with Carti after not being with him for 7 years. Like, it's so obvious. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, have a great
now they trying to accuse Playboi Carti with SA. Man, you know what I'm saying? The industry is a crazy place, man. They'll do anything, man. You never know these days, bro. She could be lying. Who knows?
Him yelling at me after he my friend.
But Playboi Carti
and
career,
I tweeted about
it don't look so good, about with females.
In a hotel room, and I was by Ian Connor and Thousand Band Fani.
I'm dead ass, bro. I ain't bro. I can pay somebody to do some shit, bro. I don't fight, bro. Don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me about no false shit, bro.
So, one of Carti's old classmates has come out to expose him for allegedly SAing her friend, with then Una the activist apparently hurting this girl and Thousand Banfani and Ian Connor touching her inappropriately. This girl even had tweets about this all the way back around 2016 and 2017 from when it happened, and even a phone call recording of Carti. There's a lot to cover, so let's get into
when
it.
A nigga rich.
This all started a couple of days ago.
When a nigga rich, that's when they come out.
Silk Baby posted a TikTok showing off a high school yearbook, which included Playboi Carti. This video went viral, gaining millions of views with comments ranging from the fact Summer Walker was in the book to, of course, Playboi Carti. Now,
that's Summer Walker?
Gained a lot of attention. She decided to make a video in response to a Carti fan saying, "Never seen Carti before he was a vampire," where she would out of nowhere reveal all of these allegations, whilst telling us she has a recording of the phone call after it all happened.
I have a recording of him yelling at me after he SA'd my friend, and after I tweeted about what Una the activist did to me. He in a hotel room, and I was by Ian Connor and Thousand Banfani.
God damn, bitch, they doing all this to you, bitch. You should have just
yelled at me for like 20 minutes, and I literally put
like,
myself
what?
on mute, like I didn't say a single word. And I tried posting the recording of it here on TikTok like 10 times,
your ass, huh?
Even when I go through and meticulously censor all the curse words and everything, it gets removed. So I already have a strike on my account. I gave up on it. You guys aren't going to hear it. Sorry. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter or something one day. But something I can post is his old mixtape that he shared with me. This is probably somewhere else online. I think it might be on SoundCloud, but it's not in his discography on like Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. But I found my old laptop from 2016 as well, and it's like completely untouched since 2016, and I found that mixtape in there, which I think he sent that to me. It must have been before 2016 because he graduated a couple years earlier than me, so this is from like 2013 or something. Yeah, there's just little snippets. Anyways, also, people ask me if I ever was friends with him or had classes with him. I took newspaper class with him, and we were friends. We weren't like best friends, but we were friends. And like we would hang out outside of school and stuff like that. But then obviously the things that I mentioned at the beginning of the video happened, so we were not friends anymore.
When you being stingy with the pussy, thought you was gonna be your gay best friend or some shit?
I was not friends with her at all. We just didn't like know each other. They were also like 2 grades above me, so I was a freshman in that photo. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I'll try to post that the recording of the call on Twitter. Maybe.
She's like an airhead.
I don't want him to like sue me or something. So.
She's like an airhead, a white girl airhead.
Maybe I just won't.
So this girl in the video, Carti didn't do anything directly to her. Carti apparently did it to one of her friends.
She just got beat up.
This girl in the video here was apparently attacked by Uno and inappropriately touched by Ian Connor and Fani. So first, I'm going to go into the tweets and phone call because that is probably what you all want to see first. So I myself went to her Twitter and found these tweets in regards to Carti. 13th of April in 2016, considering the fact that Ian Connor grabbed my wrist and threatened to punch my friend in the face.
I told you, I told them trying to grab them big old yitties. Didn't I say that? I told y'all niggas, man, them big old yitties.
However,
like
it was deleted and we can no longer see it, not giving us too much context why she replied this. 11th of September in 2017, a year later, F Playboi Carti, F Una the activist, F Curtis Williams from 2
She might be gay.
This was in response to a tweet where it said F all these rappers that hurt women, with black
Thought this nigga's gonna be there getting her gay best friend or some shit. Goofball.
Hurt her or women in general. Now, I personally don't know who Curtis Williams is. However, after doing some research, he's an Atlanta artist and
flaunting them big old titties and ass around. Think they're not gonna grab
she
him
was
shit.
hanging out with him too, or one of her friends were. And this Curtis dude may have done something to them. 8th of January in 2019, 2 years later, excuse me, IFT on Playboi Carti. Recent charges were dropped, but I witnessed him force himself on my friend, and he threatened to
flaunting them big old yitties around, thinking niggas not gonna grab it. That's what they do.
This was another reply on
They be trying to look all sexy in front of niggas, thinking they gonna be their gay best friends and shit. Bitch, get your goofball ass on somewhere.
2016, she would also put out tweets regarding Ian touching her without consent. Apparently, he grabbed her inappropriately while saying, "I like your verse," as a response to her saying she likes his shoes. Yeah, very weird, but I mean, this is Ian Connor. We shouldn't be surprised by this. Now, of course, these tweets
What you want, $1 million because he grabbed your Yeezy?
She's been trying to spread awareness of this situation for over a decade, again, isn't proof, but with the fact that most of these guys here have a long history of allegations.
Yeah, I mean, their career is like,
anyway,
y'all look back at their career, yeah, there's a lot of bullshit behind it.
According to her Twitter, she captioned it, "Recording of Playboi Carti yelling at me after I tweeted about what he did to my friend. At this point, I'm not going to tell her story for her. You know, the activist beat me in a hotel room that same night, and yes, I did tell
her
the police."
Elbows and
Then
feet,
under the post, she would add another message. "Also, I was there when he and Ian Connor assaulted my friend. I didn't witness it,
friend
but
must
I
be
was in
gay
the next
three
room
shit.
with her boyfriend, and she told him in detail what happened immediately after."
Damn, your boyfriend let them be with the Lions? Oh, no, you crazy.
Bro, it's bitches out here who do that for me, bro. Dead ass. That's what I'm telling you. I tell your mom that, bro. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass. It's whatever, bro. I'm calling your ass. I have your number. You wrote an article on me, nigga. I have your name in my DM. All that shit. All that shit you talking, bro. It looks kind of crazy, bro. Like, I got all this shit, bro. The fuck. Only reason I'm calling you, bro, because it's called, "Yo, what the fuck is this girl off the drugs, bro?" And she's like, "Honestly, I don't know." But actually, you should talk to your mom, bro, and tell her what the fuck you got going on, bro. And you can try to slander nigga's name because you're a hating ass girl, bro. And that's just you. You crazy, bro. I don't even know what the fuck is going on, bro. I just go on your page and you tweeting done, did this, that, and then these lame ass.
She honestly wants the clout.
Bro, what? I don't care, bro. But don't say nothing that's not true. Say what's true. And if anyone is mad about me, because I want to last night, and I probably, what I do? I don't know what I did. Tell her to call me. Matter of fact, I'll call her right off the phone with you. But me and you, bro, what? There's nothing for you to sweat. You just mad. You sound mad.
Bitter, right?
So you want to lie. Nigga, what? Come on, bro. I'm sure in my DMs talking about to use day clock or something else. Bro, come on. You're not dumb. When I was a senior in high school, we wasn't on the that you was on, bro. Dead ass, bro. You need to get your life together, bro, because you looking crazy. Dead ass, bro. I really want to have called you, but I didn't know you, bro. I had your number in my phone.
Wait, I'm sugar, yeah.
LLIE, bro. I had your number. Good night. Like, bro, so it's good. Just stop lying, bro. This shit you got going on with Uno, that's y'all, bro. You should have went to that room, bro. Dead ass. But other than that, don't come at me with no bullshit, bro. Don't, right? We don't even have that. We don't have no more privilege, bro. We don't have that, bro. Don't come at me talking about what I should be doing, what the fuck I'm doing, bro. Let me do me, bro. You do you, bro. You don't fuck with me. Do you, bro. You don't fuck with niggas. Don't fuck with niggas. Don't come to nobody's show. The fuck? What you talking about, bro? You put everything on yourself. And then you want to tell your mom you're doing, get scared. Somebody, nobody, bro. I'm not, bro. That's a waste of my time.
But you just...
Bro, don't come at me, bro. I'm the wrong one to come at. I'm not these other niggas, bro. Come at me and say you gonna do something to me, bro. Man down, bro. Better ask somebody, bro. I'm dead ass, bro. I ain't, bro. I can pay somebody to do some shit, bro. I don't fight, bro. Don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me about no false shit, bro. Dead ass. If it's true, I'm just
Just wait.
And take it to court, nigga. Don't come at me with no false shit, bro. I don't give a who you with. Your mom, your dad. I'm from the
Bitch, you could be a
bro.
baby, bitch. Fuck you talking about, hoe?
I ain't asked you.
They're playing with a nigga.
I ain't asked you to come to my show.
Dumbass
Bro,
hoe.
it wasn't relevant to today, bro. I don't have to be relevant to you, bro. You can try to burn my name all you want, bro, but that's lame.
Man, he really pressed, though. He leaving a voicemail like this. He pressed. He pressed. He leaving a message like this. Nigga pressed.
That's some other shit. You lying on me, bro. You dead ass lying on me. Like, dead ass. And if a nigga
That's what hoes do though. But I'm not saying I don't think he did it because like shit, these niggas be geeked out their mind, nigga.
I'm just recording it.
Oh, so he thought it was a voice message.
Hello.
Yep.
Why you didn't call the police? Oh no.
So the video didn't really give us much apart from Carti really shouting at her and threatening to beat her for 4 minutes straight. It seemed like he was angry because he was being tied in with all the stuff that Uno did, and at the end he did question why the girl didn't go to the police after
Because she liked it and she just wanted clout. She really wanted to get piped out, get her guts dragged in. But you know, all them goofy ass, bougie ass hoes.
All of his friends.
Oh, if I let him fuck, he won't fuck with me no more. I just be like another groupie.
Probably wanted the girl to
Goofy
take
asshole.
them down and stop talking about him. Firstly,
I gotta act like
started
I'm
to question
different.
if this was even
Dumbass.
Carti in the first place. I mean, personally, I think it is. If any of you go watch clips from Carti back in like 2015 or
goofy asshole.
2016, it sounds just like him. Even fans in the comments are agreeing it's him.
If I let him
Bro, I've
hit,
been a
he
fan
won't
of
take me
Carti for the
serious.
longest. This is 100%
Goofy ass.
Carti.
I might just
He's
stop being
some
best friend,
younger
take all
kid,
his
but
clout
sounds
and
like he's
money on.
innocent. It was something personal,
Goofy asshole.
you know, and she tried to blame it on Carti, but this forever ago, who cares, LMAO. You sound like a new fan. Search up old bits of Carti talking from 2015. This vid ain't new, it's 10 years ago. Honestly, I might even play a video for comparison, but yeah, it sounds just like old Carti.
Yeah, that sound like Carti. I ain't gonna cap. Unless that was a good Carti impressionist.
Say I changed on them because I thought they was on the same shit was on, but they not. Like dead ass, bro. You need to get your life together, bro. Cause you looking crazy.
That's most definitely Carti,
I
bitch.
really want to have called you, but I didn't know you, bro. I had your number in my phone.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna.
LLI.
A lot of people argued it's not him and it's actually Ian, but as you can tell from the replies and the amount of people
That's not
liking
definitely
it,
Carti,
all
bitch.
the replies, most people are agreeing that it's Carti.
Yeah, it sounds just like him.
But as I said, it doesn't really show any proof of Carti actually doing anything.
Yeah, it don't show
or
that he was
showing
doing some
proof
shit, but-
of anything. Like really, the only evidence so far is the girl's tweets and her saying it happened in these TikToks. Now, I'm not saying this
'Cause he grabbed your Yetis?
I'm just stating
The fuck?
that there's no
Air balloon
evidence,
bag?
which honestly, in most cases like this, there isn't much evidence, which of course is quite unfortunate. And especially now that it's 10 years later, they obviously can't do much about it. Now, the girl did post more videos of her explaining what happened while showing pictures of her and Ian together. Now, all that Ian Carter stuff, I don't even doubt.
look better
because
now
the
than
dude's got
it
like
used to do.
over
That's her.
33 allegations, so we all know he's a weirdo. And I mean, even Carti, he's got multiple assault cases.
Yeah, he's like, yeah,
no SA
yeah,
ones,
we know
but
what they've
still
been
a
through.
terrible person.
That nigga
so
been
I don't
going
doubt
crazy
it. Maybe
on
this
these
Black
hoes.
Silk baby girl can get her
He
friend
tryna
to
outdo,
come out and speak on the
Playboi
allegations if she wants to,
Not
of
Playboi
course.
Reese,
Then
Lil Reese.
Uno and Fani. I mean, personally, I'm not like a fan of them. I don't know too much about them. But if they're hanging out with Ian and Carti in the first place, they're probably getting into the same trouble as them. And actually, let me play you this video because it explains what went down. And apparently, the police were actually there.
When you're starting out with your fight.
Anyways, I posted it on Twitter, and my Twitter is Black Silk Baby. And here's a really, really ugly picture of me.
Yeah, I say,
I think
yeah,
this
you
was
look better now, 'cause I don't know what the fuck's
2015
going
or
on. You got
of
3
me
chins,
and Ian
bitch.
Connor, and this is my vehicle, and we're sitting in the trunk of my car. I drove them to North Carolina for
You the goofy
shows.
bitch.
And
You was
he
the
and Man
goofy hoe.
Savage.
The
Me
whole
and my
you was the
friends were
house,
like basically teenage
the car, and
roomies.
everything, nigga.
I'm not like proud of that, but like a
Yeah, you was
guy
the
that I was
goofy
friends
ass.
with at school started getting famous and was having shows with people like Lil Uzi Vert and Lil Yachty, and we could get in for free and we could hang out backstage and be on the stage with them, and it was fun. It was fun for a while.
Yeah, you there. You now you
Until it
want the
wasn't,
money on. You said
and
fuck the
we would've
clout.
done the same
Like, you want the clout and the money on now.
Also, I'll try to tell the story of what happened with
You was a
the
goof ass.
activist without getting this taken down, so I'll have to censor myself. But basically, he invited me to a party at a hotel room the same night that Carti did what he did to my friend. And I was with
Your friend
my
was a goofball,
gay
bitch.
boyfriend, my gay friend that was a boy.
Told you.
And he told me, yeah,
Didn't I say that? D-Ho be wanting gay best friends. And when a nigga not gay, nigga try to get on the tag and grab them giddies. You be feeling some type of way. Nigga, you can't turn no nigga gay.
And then I showed up to the hotel room. It was just him and one other guy, and then me and my friend. And we were very confused.
He flying them big ass titties around and ass.
He wanted to leave.
Grab that shit. What the fuck?
He was basically trying to make me stay and get my friend to leave, and I don't know what him and his friend were planning on doing to me, but I was not having it. And then his friend pulled out and that was obviously extremely terrifying, and me and my friend were like fighting back because he was saying like, no, I'm not leaving without her, and it escalated very, very quickly. And then Uno just started like me up.
Whooping your ass, your manly
and
ass.
I eventually got out of there. When I got out, the police
act like
arrived,
a man, get beat like a man.
and
What you
they
talking
like
about,
went
bitch?
in. They didn't arrest him, but they like were asking me for a police report and stuff like that. The neighboring hotel rooms, I guess, had called the police because it was very loud.
Look at her name.
And they asked me if I wanted to press charges, and
these hoes be weird.
I like thought about it because they said I didn't have to decide right then. I
Weird,
could like
goofy
decide
assholes.
later. And I thought about it, and like I was about to go to college and stuff, and like I just didn't feel like doing that. Like I just didn't feel like going through a whole court process and like possibly getting a lawyer and stuff. Like I didn't even know what that entailed. I was a teenager, and I knew I just like wanted to be rid of that night from my memory because it was very traumatic. It's not as much anymore. Like I can talk about it and I'm totally fine. But during that time, I just like didn't want.
She have the airhead.
I just wanted to pretend it didn't happen.
Starbucks ass voice.
Together a few times before that night. So I guess that we assumed that that's what was going to happen that night. And yeah.
So in this video, she admitted that her and her friend were basically teen groupies, and they thought hanging out with these rappers was cool and fun.
Yeah, trying to turn niggas gay and shit. Nigga, nah, nigga, get that pussy up, ho.
And was
what you talking about? Stop playing with niggas.
Groupie. In that video, she mostly spoke about how Uno assaulted her and never
act like a man and shit.
Charges
beat like a man.
She didn't want to go through the whole process of that as she was about to go to college, which of course is very unfortunate.
About to get Hall of Fame gangbang, ho.
Cases. I mean, it happened with Carti, pregnant girlfriend assault case. The girl never ends up pressing charges. The rapper never
she liked the shit.
For his actions.
That shit turned their ass on.
In jail and continued doing these things.
She really wanted to get fucked.
So
but these hoes big goofy birds.
Into everything that happened, break down what happened, what fans are saying, and just kind of final thoughts. Let me play you the
when a
final
nigga
clip
move on, they be feeling some type of way.
Just so we have everything out of the way.
The parasocial relationship you writing dweebs have with Carti is very pathetic. You don't know him. I did know him.
Bitch, you barely knew him.
This isn't like my first time speaking about this. I haven't been like completely silent until now, and I was like anticipating his new album drop so I could like, I don't follow his music career. I didn't know he had a new album. I put that song on it because it was the first Carti song that came up. I've been talking about this, or I did talk about it right after it happened in 2016. I posted about it after that. The Writing Dweebs came for me again, and I just like got
you want the money on the cloud and the fame.
I didn't talk about it again.
You didn't want to give up the pussy.
It came across my yearbook.
And then you feeling some type of way. They done moved on and been more successful. Now you all chill looking like a duck. This is what it is.
Like, that's
what y'all hoes be getting. Y'all be trying to lead niggas on, make a nigga do all this goofy ass shit, nigga move on, and you feel some type of way.
Tell me a story about him, blah, blah, blah. I told you, and you don't like it, because you wanted me to glaze him and put his in my mouth like you motherfuckers. There's not a statute of limitations for me to tell a story about something I experienced in my own life.
You probably put that all down your throat, ho. Why you got
narrative that you
bird?
dweebs have about him, and you don't like it.
You don't like
it. Not my fault. And then you can call me a lot of things, but you can't call me a fucking liar. I do not lie. So like, saying I'm lying. What you're saying is that in 2016, I devised a plan so that I could make up a story and post about it on the internet, and then get all of my friends
it's not real. I'm not saying it's not real.
And then I sat
I'm just saying you probably leaving that nigga on.
Album. I waited 10 years to be able to tell this story, just so when he was at the peak of fame, I could bring him down.
Probably.
And then I predicted TikTok, and that I could use this story for TikTok clout. Like, it doesn't make sense. How could I possibly have just created this story and create? Do y'all think I used like AI to create the phone call? evidence of what he did to my friend. A lot of times,
where did y'all go to? Y'all went to a white school? Did y'all go to a white school?
I was there though, and I believe what she told me.
A
And what her
suburb
boyfriend
ass
told
school?
me, who was also there. I didn't go like collect DNA evidence and like put hidden cameras around him 24/7. Like, this is not a criminal trial. Like, I have no obligation to prove anything to any of you people on TikTok. None.
So, in summary, Carti apparently SA'd one of her friends, whilst the girl in the video and the victim's boyfriends were there in the next
It's like
room.
they wanted
And
it.
again, this girl in the video was apparently beat up by Uno in a hotel where police were called, but no charges were ever made. And Ian and Fani apparently touched her inappropriately. Now, if we're being real here, just from the top of my head, Carti has a terrible past with women.
Yeah, they do.
Ian has a horrid past with women.
Yeah.
Just from a quick Google search, I can't.
But them all be liking that shit. You know what I'm saying? They be wanting to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Had that story fantasy. The nigga move on because they play too many games and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Spend time with something like
Sure.
that. And then just from googling Fani's name, apparently he broke his girlfriend's collarbone. So yeah, people with terrible pasts. I
Horrible
don't
past.
doubt they did any of this. I don't even want to speak about it too much or just discuss it because there isn't much to talk about as it's just past tweets and word of mouth. I just wanted to bring these allegations to light, not discuss if they're real or not. You can make your own opinion up. Most Carti fans that responded to this were just trolling the girl, trying to say it never happened, whilst the majority of normal people acknowledge that this is probably true. I would usually never assume these kind of things on people, but him and Ian Connor used to be running around like Batman and Robin. I wouldn't need any
Who
evidence.
can ask that? The most females
is
head ass.
honestly true. With most allegations, you need to take with a grain of
And get
salt.
away with
But
it.
like Carti and Ian
Head ass.
Connor, yeah, literally as this guy said, Batman and Robin. Them dudes have
Joker and
dozens
the
of
penguin head
allegations, videos of them beating dudes up. They're serial criminals, or serial criminals with no criminal history. Unfortunately, the original post, which like went viral on Twitter, got removed by the Playboi Carti community mods, so I can't see people's responses to it anymore. But on Reddit, people are saying Ian Connor and allegations in the same sentence. Here we go again. Pray he drops Baby Boy single to cover up for it, lol. Which is a reference to when Carti was arrested. I think it was 2022 or 2023 for the pregnant girlfriend situation. And in an attempt to cover up his arrest, he posted like teasing new music on his Twitter or some stupid stuff like that. Carti beat women, lies, cheats, and in general a shitty person. What else could he possibly do? You know what that means? You fit pics tonight. He actually did this recently, I think. I can't remember what it was for though. He either like dropped a fit pic or even dropped an Instagram single to try cover something up. I can't remember what exactly it was though. If someone lets me know in the comments. I think it was after his goons like jumped a female fan and stole her phone. Not too sure though. Personally, I don't know what to believe. Like the evidence isn't really that good. On the other hand, it's not really out of the question that Carti would do it, so I don't know. You'll get downvoted, but you're right. A random mixtape and a yearbook photo isn't evidence. I mean, I get what they're saying. That's why I'm not really discussing what happened too much, simply because there isn't a lot to go over. Again, I'm not saying it didn't happen because I'm actually sure it did. So yeah, I'm going to wrap the video there. There isn't too much else to say. It's a hot topic. It's
Another goofy bird mad because they didn't get to be in the successful moment of his baby mama and his wife. She wants the glitz and the fame, but didn't want to give up the pussy.
Well, at least
That's
Carti and
how it
Ian
goes.
are not
Now
too
she
sure
gay or
what
some
Uno and
shit.
Fani are doing in
You know how it goes,
2025.
man.
So yeah, let me know you guys'
You all
thoughts
be
in the
hating and
comments.
pressed.
Do you think anyone here is innocent? What else
Hell
can you
no.
guys discuss? Is
Just hating
Carti
and
a bad
pressed.
person? I mean, that's a bit of a
This is how
rhetorical
these hoes
question.
be, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Just hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Shout out to Hello Yazin. But this is a sad, unfortunate truth. This is what these big time rappers and social media people do. They steal people songs, talent, style, and don't give niggas credit and make millions upon millions off of niggas while these niggas be stuck out, broke, and these motherfuckers making millions off their music.
A Chicago band says one of the world's biggest rappers used part of their song on their new album. But the problem is they say Travis Scott and his team never credited, compensated, or even cleared it with them.
Travis Scott might owe people some money, but more importantly, owe them an apology.
His recent compilation album Jack Boys 2 samples the band Pixel Grip without any compensation
Why
or
are you using these
accreditation.
trackers, man?
And Pixel Grip might not be the only ones in this
As
situation.
far as not giving these niggas like credit.
Suddenly, 4 years after creating it, I find a distorted version of my work in a song called Telekinesis.
Copyright issues come with the territory of hip-hop sampling, but there are several examples of smaller artists having to go to social media or even a
Yeah, at least get these motherfuckers credit, man.
Travis Scott pay them for the money he made from using their work. And when you examine Travis's considerable history of copyright issues, Travis or people from
That's why I
Travis's
put copyright shit on all
might
my
have some
videos.
explaining to do.
And I try to get these motherfuckers their credit because these motherfuckers on some whole shit.
Believe it or not, Travis Scott's copyright issues go as far back as a decade ago in 2015, where there were issues with the track Antidote, his first big hit. The beat for this song was produced by Travis, Wonder Girl, and Eastbound, and sampled the song All I Need by Lee Fields. In an interview with BeatStars, Eastbound explained what happened with this song.
It was kind of a weird process because when Travis Scott released his song on SoundCloud, which is a non-for-profit organization, they still do make money, but you know what I mean, it's for free pretty much, so there's no money being generated. And when he released it on SoundCloud, we didn't even know. So before that, we didn't get any paperwork or anything or any emails saying that he's going to release it.
The usual process for sample clearance is that before being released, someone will get in contact with the person who owns the publishing of this song and get permission to use it. Then there will be some form of negotiation. Rates vary for these type of deals, but music clearance expert Deborah Manis-Gardner said that if it's a small vocal snippet, we try to keep that at 5% on the publishing. If it's a bass line that's used throughout, you have to look at that bass line and think, is the whole song the bass line with someone rapping on top of it? And in that case, maybe it has a greater value of, say, 50%.
These white people want to steal every fucking thing they can fucking find to get mad when black people try to make some money off their music. Like, get the
But
fuck
Travis was
on
at the early
somewhere,
stages
bro.
of his career, and was probably naive of all the red tape that comes with releasing hip-hop singles.
So after you released it, it was kind of an issue because, you know, the people from the sample, you know, told Travis that they want 50% of the record, which is
50%?
You know,
Bitch, you get 50% of these nuts.
Travis didn't clear it at first. So
You ain't getting 50% of
they had to
jack
come
shit,
in, which
nigga.
is actually
What
generous.
these
that
white
they
people
gave us,
thinking?
you know, 50%.
Is this slavery?
Those people could
Can I take a snippet or use your video?
She would just have to
Nigga,
take
I'll take everybody's
From
shit.
these early stages, Travis would work with a huge team of producers, writers, and engineers, which would inevitably
These
lead to
people crazy,
miscommunication
bro.
about samples and clearances. Interestingly, this interview also revealed the other side where the sampler can also get screwed too.
I did a record recently with Ludacris, and I literally sampled 5 words from the acapella section of a record, and they took everything from me.
Ultimately, you could give Travis Scott the benefit of the doubt in this case, but a year later, Travis would make the same mistake of just releasing something without informing everyone else who worked on the song. And this time around, instead of not clearing a sample, he allegedly stole a good friend's song.
Pick up the phone.
On June 2nd, 2016, Travis released the song Pick Up the Phone on SoundCloud, which also featured Young Thug and Quavo. But suddenly, this track was taken down by Young Thug's label, 300 Entertainment. Travis was infuriated by this and tweeted in blocked capitals, 300 deleted Pick Up the Phone off SoundCloud, because they're divas. These guys wanted to take control over a La Flame song. What a effing joke. Being about artwork and name titles. However, Young Thug's sister shared a very different side to the story. According to her, the song wasn't released, it was leaked. In a series of tweets she since deleted, she wrote, "How you leak somebody else's song?" And I don't know what Travis and the producer got going on. Weirdo ass stuff. In the reply,
These
someone
niggas
asked,
do be playing
"That's
hating
good
though.
song,
They
right?"
hate to see
She
niggas
replied,
win,
"Yep,"
like low key.
which I'm trying to map how you leak
You know
someone
what I'm
else's
saying? Niggas
song.
be trying to make
It was
it
claimed
and
that
make
this
some
was
money
Young
on our
Thug's
tip.
song and not Travis'.
Then be getting mad because we use a little.
An earlier version contained
Alright,
singing
gang, hold
Star
down.
instead of Travis. And Travis supposedly
They
did
be
not write
getting
any
mad
of the
because we use a
lyrics.
little bit of their
Dora
shit. Like,
said,
bro.
and Dora is Young Thug's
You know
sister,
what I'm
that she
saying?
preferred the version with Stara. In September, the original
shit be
version of
weird,
the song
bro.
with Stara surfaced online. Double XL seemed to agree with Dora that this was a better version and wrote,
You
"Her
can't
higher
use
pitched
none of
voice
these
makes
people's
for
shit,
quite a
man. They'll
different sound than
copyright
the
your whole
Travis
video.
Scott
They'll
version."
block your
And we
video
didn't
and
say
take
it
it down
blends
and
in more
copyright
with
strike
Young
your
Thug's
shit.
reedy vocals.
Especially on the music.
An article in Uproxx
That's a
examined
fact.
both tracks and confirmed
They
that
do that to
Travis'
my oldest
contribution was
friends.
singing Stara's vocals and adding a few synths at the end. This Uproxx article shared the
So my
rumor of
streams
exactly
still
what
getting
happened.
deleted
reading.
and
The rumor is
blocked
Travis was
till
in the
today.
studio when the song was recorded and eventually added his vocals and began playing the track at shows and DJ gigs, claiming it was his long before it was ever set to be released. Ultimately, this song appeared on Travis's album Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight,
where Travis was listed as a
But
songwriter.
they steal everybody else type of style and shit and
he had
flow.
no input on the song, but even the person performing the
That shit be
song gets
wild.
songwriting credits. Interestingly, Travis also generated controversy from the song Guidance, which was a remix of another song by K Forest and had very little input from Travis. The Uproxx article concluded, "What's becoming apparent is that much like his idol Kanye West, Travis is a gifted curator with an uncanny eye and ear for talent. While his contributions to both tracks were minor, there is some talent in being the one to find and incorporate them into his project. It's every bit as blatant as what Kanye did to Designer's Panda and may diminish him as an artist in the eyes of some, but Birds is undeniably a solid album and may be his best project yet." Fast forward to 2019, and Travis was in hot water once again. This time around, however, he faced a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
Damn, $1 million
Off
lawsuit?
the back of his 2018 album Astroworld, Travis' reputation really started to grow outside hip-hop circles and received several Grammy
All them niggas
nominations.
that doubted through that
He
shit
also
was
grew his
crazy.
team even further, and the song Sicko Mode has 30 credited writers. And on the song No
Damn!
Bystanders, Travis or someone from
30
Travis' team
credited
seemed to have
writers?
crossed the line between inspiration and plagiarism. On the song, he chants F the Club Up. This is an homage to the legendary Southern rap group 3 6 Mafia and their song Tear the Club Up. At the 2019 Grammys, Travis even performed No Bystanders, where he replaced the lyrics of F the Club Up with Tear the Club Up. And this well-meaning tribute may have cost Travis millions of dollars. 2 months later, DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia filed a $20 million lawsuit against Travis, claiming that this chorus was virtually identical and strikingly similar to his own track.
The fuck, nigga, you getting mad cause niggas
it really
using
helps
your
the accuser if they
fucking
can prove that the
words?
accused has heard the song.
These niggas
So
some
this
pussies,
Grammy
bro.
performance put Travis at an
These niggas
immediate
do be
disadvantage.
bitches, man.
DJ Paul released a statement and wanted to make it clear that he had no beef with Travis, but simply felt that he was owed money for using this chorus. He wrote, "Travis Scott and I have been in touch personally about this matter. He's aware of the situation, as is his label. Everything will be worked out accordingly with proper communication between he, Juicy J, and I. There's no beef, just business."
Beef, nigga.
By September, a settlement was made for an undisclosed amount, and 3 6 Mafia are now in the credits of this song. This, once again, could be boiled down to a simple misunderstanding, and there doesn't seem to be any hard feelings from this lawsuit. Here's a 2024 interview of DJ Paul feeling very excited to see Travis play at
That's some
Coachella.
fucked up ass shit.
I haven't seen him live in person, but I've seen, shows online, and it's crazy. He's like the younger version of us. It's like shows are wild. Yeah, I wish I had footage, more footage of our shows back in those days when I was his age, because it was crazy.
However, the following year, we saw something that, if true, demonstrates a more sinister side to Travis' sampling of other people's music. Benjamin Lasnier is a Danish producer who's made beats for Trippie Redd, Designer, and Don Toliver, among others. A significant amount of his income comes from making beats and then sending them out to different producers, engineers, and artists in the hopes that they may want to use them. Through a lawsuit filed in 2020, he told the story of sharing music with Jamie Lepper, also known as Jimmy Cash, who works with Travis Scott. The lawsuit claims, then, on or about December 14, 2018, Lasnier sent Lepper a direct message on Instagram asking whether he would be interested in listening to Lasnier's music and collaborating. Lepper replied on or about December 18, 2018, stating, "Of course, bro, send on through," and provided his personal email
He
address.
just jacked it.
Lepper then sent a message to Lasnier, "Thank you, bro. I haven't been getting back to you, but just know I'm making some moves with your stuff." Lo and behold, Travis Scott released Highest in the Room in 2019, which has a very similar guitar melody to Lasnier's song Cartier, which was one of the songs sent to Jamie Lepper. In fairness to Travis, he was not involved with the production of this song, so might be unaware of where this came from. But ultimately, Lasnier, along with 2 other songwriters behind the song, received 0 compensation or credits.
That's kind of fucked
This
up.
guitar melody appears 24 times and is a fundamental part of the song. So this is something you could argue should cut him a deal over 50%, as well as being one of Travis'
Hell
most
no.
popular songs. The track was licensed to Beats Audio,
Niggas don't hate the player, hate the game, nigga. At the end of the day, niggas still put shit all the damn time. That's just the way
Coincidentally,
life is.
Lasnier's legal team
Niggas
estimated
a
that the
jungle
song
out
made
here,
$20
nigga.
million. Representing Lasnier was Richard Bush, who famously won the Blurred Lines case for Marvin Gaye's estate against Pharrell and Robin Thicke. He said in a statement, "I'll just add that our clients are very successful songwriters, producers. They never expected that this would end up in a lawsuit, but felt they had no choice but to take this action under these circumstances." The problem with this lawsuit is that the song Lasnier made was never released, so you can't listen to his song and Travis's song side by side. Lasnier posted this song on his Instagram story 3 times, but did not permanently publish it online. The lawsuit states that the guitar riff has not been completely lifted, but nearly half of the infringing work and infringing sound recording is comprised of the original work's melody. The musicologist Brian McBrearty has looked at the sheet notes of both songs and claims that the lawsuit isn't as straightforward as it has been made out to be.
It's kind of different.
The guitar uses arpeggios, and according to McBrearty, arpeggios are the sort of musical elements that musicologists call building blocks. They appear along with chords and scales atop lists of common property elements. In music, in other words, stuff copyright doesn't protect because it belongs to everybody. Since 2020, there's been no further developments on this case, but this wouldn't be the final time that Travis would be accused of not paying for samples. 4 years later, there's yet another example that touches upon the gray area of ripping someone off versus using a very common musical expression. In 2024, Travis Scott faced allegations of plagiarism on 2 separate tracks. On the 2018 track Stargazing and 2023 track Till Further Notice, you can hear Alright chanted 3 times at a very specific further notice. You can hear Alright chanted 3 times at a very specific rhythm. This allegedly plagiarized the 1992 DJ Jimmy track Reply, and the lawsuit was filed by the track songwriters
What? This is baloney.
The lawsuit pointed out that this phrase has been sampled by multiple artists, including Beyonce, Lil Wayne,
That's baloney.
Diddy, Wiz Khalifa, among others. There are multiple reasons why this probably wasn't cleared. Could be an honest mistake. It could be seen as so minuscule that they thought they didn't need to bother clearing it. However, Norman and Ordone claimed that Travis's team had a sample clearance vendor contact them about clearing the subject sample.
That's some baloney ass hating ass shit, nigga, because 3 words.
So this was essentially an admission that they knew they had to license the sample.
Let other niggas
Travis's
eat.
lawyers responded to this lawsuit with a motion to dismiss and felt that the phrase "alright" is similar to playing common chords on a guitar, and nobody can really own it. His lawyers hit back with, the only alleged copyright infringement here is the alleged copying of the word alright. But the single word alright and the short phrase alright, alright, alright lack even the minimal creativity required for copyright protection. All because these lyrics are too short and because they're commonplace or stock expressions. The case is still ongoing, but this is one where you can see why Travis didn't make any effort to clear the sample. However, in 2025, there are 2 cases that even the most die-hard Travis Scott fans might find difficult to defend. Starting off with the fascinating story of Victory Boyd. In January 2025, gospel singer Victory Boyd filed a copyright lawsuit against Travis. And on Instagram, she explained that a song she intended to write for Kanye West was later, in her own blunt words, stolen by Travis Scott. In a video on her Instagram, she said,
In 2019, I moved to a cabin in the mountains of Cody, Wyoming on a whim to write music for Ye. I wrote probably 100 songs, and maybe 5 of them have seen the light of day.
Yeah, you're in the sweatshop, working hard in the
very
bit.
best effort to every individual word, line, and cadence. Sometimes
Nigga had you in the sweatshop, working hard, bro.
In this environment, there was a clear power dynamic where Ye would go through her work and decide what, if any, would make the album, and this frustrated Boyd.
After a certain point of seeing my carefully crafted work be scrapped and truncated, I decided that I no longer am writing songs for Ye, but rather I'm writing songs for Jesus. I even climbed to the top of this rock and spent a day writing a song to the Lord. With all the same effort and meticulous attention to detail that I put towards creating work that would be pleasing to Ye, I decided to switch my focal point and apply the same effort towards creating works of art that would be pleasing to my Lord Jesus. And once I did that, suddenly I had assurance that my work was not in vain. And even if another soul never heard what I created, I knew that God did, and that He treasured each and every word that I wrote for Him.
So what has this all got to do with Travis Scott? Well, the roots of this dispute come from the song Future Bounce.
I wrote a couple versions of a song called Future Bounce. The intention was that this song describes a house party in heaven. When we all make it to heaven, we're going to be doing this dance called the Future Bounce. That was the original idea.
Then she shared a snippet of her recording the song. In this snippet, she can be heard singing the lines, "Do you like the way it sounds? Hear the trumpets playing loud? And I'm going to see the future in the bounce." In 2023, Travis Scott's album Utopia featured the song Telekinesis. This track contains a chorus with the exact same melody as Future Bounce, and also contains the lines, "To the trumpets, do you like the way it sounds? You know the future of the bounce. And do you like the way it sounds?" Through being friends with Ye, Victory said that Travis would have had access to this unreleased song. And this goes deeper than Travis simply not paying, compensating, and crediting her, but taking her gospel song and diluting it of its intentional message.
I use the term stolen because this is how the dictionary defines the word. But suddenly, 4 years after creating it, I find a distorted version of my work in a song called Telekinesis. 3 times in this song, Travis Scott repeats the chorus that I wrote. Not once did anyone ask me or consider to inquire of my participation in this song. My answer would have been no. I wrote this song for God, and to the extent that Ye was working for God, I was working for Ye. Travis, on the other hand, never had this intent, which you can see when you read the lyrics to Telekinesis.
Not only did Travis dilute the song of the original message, there are lyrics that are completely antithetical to the original song. The opening verse reads, "Used to want to F and R&B be, then that ish happened. Used to want to be rich, then it finally happened." Victory went on to say,
"I never would have consented to being associated and to help make a hit song that spread. Would have consented to being associated and to help make a hit song that spreads this message. So they had to steal my work if they wanted to use it because permission simply would not have been granted."
To rub salt in the wounds, Telekinesis was also used for the commercial of the Switch watch company Audemars Piguet. And to be fair of the watch company, they at least had the courtesy to ask her if they could use the song.
In my lawsuit is also Swiss watch company Audemars Piguet, because while they did ask me for permission to use my work in their brand partnership with Travis Scott, I told them no. And in December of 2023, they published my work in collaboration with Travis Scott in a major commercial campaign anyway. A multi-million-dollar partnership. Again, let's go back to the definition of stealing. So now we have all these layers of violations against me from multi-billion-dollar institutions. I said it before and I'll say it again. The story of David and Goliath repeats itself.
After the lawsuit was filed, Travis' lawyers made efforts to poke holes in this version of events. The strongest argument was that Victory had apparently failed to disclose that Ye was involved in the composition of the song and supposedly contributed the chords and beat of the song. Kanye went on to make his own version called Ultrasounds. And for what it's worth, Ye has claimed that he owns the song. In his infamous interview with DJ Academics, where he's dressed in a black Klansman outfit, he talks about how Travis left Ye off 4 of his songs on Utopia. In this interview, Ye said that his voice was replaced with Travis, Future, and SZA, all of whom featured on the song Telekinesis. Other songs Ye could be referring to are Thank God and God's Country, both of which he's credited as a producer. If Ye thinks 4 of his songs are on Utopia, he might also be referring to Modern Jam, which samples his song I Am a God. However, Travis seems to have justified taking Ye off the credits for this song because this sample was from an early demo that he worked on with Daft Punk, and Ye was not yet involved. But speaking about Victory Boy's lawsuit, Travis's lawyers said, without sole authorship, her copyright registrations are defective and void. Essentially, Ye's ownership of the song would have given him the authority to license out the song. On the liner notes of Telekinesis, both Ye and Victory Boyd are listed as songwriters, as is Travis. In an article in All Hip Hop, it reads, Scott's team went one step further, arguing that even if the claims proceed, West's creative role gave him the right to authorize the use of the demo, effectively shielding the defendants from liability. Victory said that she had a Davis versus Goliath battle against Travis. This might be a bit of an exaggeration, but off the back of Travis Scott's release of Jack Boys 2, you can see the same power dynamic at play where Travis is clearly using another song, but the original author has an uphill battle of never making any money from it.
You wouldn't even care, man, because you know God see your work. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
A Chicago band says one of the world's biggest rappers used part of their song on their new album. But the problem is, they say Travis Scott and his team never credited, compensated, or even cleared it with them.
In June 2025, Rita Lucia, who is the singer from the musical group Pixel Group, was genuinely checking out Jack Boys 2 and noticed some of her group's music being used on the song Kick Out. She then showed it to the other band members. Drummer John Freund said,
I just can tell immediately because, I worked so hard on this song. It's like, I
can hear the bass line in the background. I can hear the noise that kind of swirls in the very beginning.
Pixel Group might be big in underground circles, but they have a very minimal page presence, and they have less than 3,000 followers on Twitter. So you can imagine the mixed emotions. Travis Scott felt that their music was worthy enough to sample, but at the same time, Travis did not feel that they were worthy enough to be credited and paid. The band then wrote a thread on Twitter which opened with, "Travis Scott sampled Pursuit, without permission, in his new song Kick Out. I just can't stop thinking about who else extremely famous or powerful in music knows about us and even actively likes our music, but refuses to throw us a effing bone." They also explained that this is different from failing to clear a song that was recorded decades ago. And as musicians trying to make a living in 2025, they would really appreciate compensation and credits. Like, I almost understand not clearing a sync from like a random 99-cent record from 50 years ago at a thrift store. We're active and hungry and spinning the wheels on the ground, trying to make a career out of thin air with only underground support. In fairness to Travis, he's not listed as a producer on the track, and credits are given to Oz, T-Minus, and Sean Malmberger.
Man, they don't give a fuck about underground rappers, nigga.
Kendrick's Not Like Us eventually
they
reached out
all
to
our
Pixel
shit.
In a DM to the
millions
group,
off our shit.
"Hey, the label should be reaching out to clear the sample soon. Sorry the song wasn't cleared prior to release."
They stealing all our shit, making millions off our shit. I ain't gonna cap.
But this message came in the aftermath of being shamed
don't
online.
Don't give a fuck what happened
you really
to
wonder
us.
if they would have contacted them if this didn't make headlines.
Don't matter
Pixel
what,
Group with
niggas
the
be in the
right lawyers
hospital,
could
they
arguably
still
take
gonna steal our
100%
shit.
of the royalties from this song, but they seem to want to merely be credited and compensated
I
fairly.
don't give a fuck.
They're also
what I'm saying?
rightfully
God
using
gonna
this
bless me
incident
no matter
to
what.
gain some publicity. But ultimately, there was a time when Travis Scott was just another struggling artist like Pixel Grip. And with Ye now fallen from grace, Travis is one of the few mainstream artists that has the power to put the spotlight on some of the more experimental music scenes out there. Well, let's hope that this recent public shaming can turn things around.
That's how it goes. Alright, we back. So, as we all can understand, man, that female, she probably ain't lying. But at the same time, man, the bitch a groupie. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way I hear from it, man, she probably like the shit. You know what I'm saying? She probably got sold a dream. It ended up not being the dream she thought it was gonna be. And then she bitter. You know what I'm saying? She thought she was gonna be on the same ride. She thought she was gonna be the same best friends with Playboi Carti, but they not. Playboi Carti, A$AP Rocky beef, man. That shit wild, man. That when the student outshine the teacher, man. You know what I'm saying? It be like that. But what surprised me in that A$AP Rocky trying to take down what Carti did. That's how it goes sometimes, man. You know, when you up here, bruh, they so damn rich and got the clout and shit. They had nothing else to do but beef with each other that they all grew up with. You know what I'm saying? That Travis Scott and shit, you know, he getting hit with these lawsuits about copyright infringement, all this goofy shit, man. At the end of the day, man, a lot of these big name rappers and people be taking lower people content, man. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, a lot of these people, man, when us lower content people try to listen to the big name content people, they put copyright infringement on all they shit. They ought to take all your money on. They try to hit you with a strike, or they even block your whole. They block your whole shit from even being able to be seen. Like, a lot of my shit is getting blocked till today from listening to people's music in my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's how it goes, man. You know, I don't get mad when people steal my shit. Do what you gotta do to win and survive and live in this world. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? When you got God, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna flow out like water. And God gonna always bless you with more than what's been taken or stolen. So I don't care, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people do get mad, and that's just how it goes. You know, you can't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I'm saying? It's a cold world, man. You get what I'm saying? But hey, I appreciate all the people I get the content from. You know what I'm saying? I try to shout everybody out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was the beef and all the drama that's been going on. They've been taking people's style and all type of shit. And now Carti trying to help the person that A$AP Rocky took the style from. This shit getting crazy. So this was the beef that they all had. Make sure you like, subscribe, and y'all this bitch. Hood, Northside, big crip in it. Gang, Northside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.